to my Spotify. The only thing I can do is start Spotify playing and then tell it to use one of the available devices nearby. And so that's what I do. So find my Spotify and then I can start the music playing. And I probably won't be talking to you as much. And I'm guessing they won't play the music directly into the headset. I'm going to go and I'm going to get some Cock Robin and I'm going to set up for a Cock Robin radio. This is what Cock Robin sounds like. Hopefully it won't recognize this as their. I'll put it further away and I can sing this song. What's it? Okay. Don't do. This is mid 80s Blue-Eyed Soul. What's the matter with the way we look? Surely it's not the end. Okay, that's gonna it. I actually have the girl that's in the band on my Facebook. She's pretty cool. Just not the end. Should we be seen as friends? To make my emotions clear. You worry too much if it's understood. Should we be seen as friends? Seems like a real beginning right here. 'Cause when your heart is weak, gonna pick a lock on it. My fingertips won't fail me, no matter what you do. The love you cannot see is not a witness of dawning. You can twist and turn, but you won't get loose. Don't forget getting rid of me. I don't see how you can. Put me off and I will hunt you down again. You're my person when you have to be. You've given me that. Still I look forward to the day you let me in. He's saying it all out of sync. This is not the way he sings in the song. He's doing it just to be expressive. I pick the lock on it. My fingertips will fail me, no matter what you do. What you do. I'm gonna prove myself worthy. No more on without a prayer of a chance. Oh, I'm gonna come without warning. When you're in a desperate need, and all you accept me. Oh, companion. Companion. Remember, baby? Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause when your heart. Yeah. No. So what he's talking about is he's talking about a guy that's kind of been friends with a girl for a long period of time, and she's kind of just written him off as being kind of just a friend, but he's just looking for the right time to reciprocate her emotions so that she comes to the realization that he's really just wanted to he's just looking for the right time to come in and say, I'm really attracted to you. I've always been attracted to you. I was just being your friend because I was trying to find a time in which I wanted to express this to you. And usually girls, whenever a friend suddenly becomes a lover, they freak out. And he says, well, there's nothing you can do because I'm already here. I'm a part of your life. You can't write me off. I'm already part of your life. I already know too much about you. Why not? Is what he's saying. And so he's kind of leveraging himself in the door of her heart. So, I know everything about you. Is there any guy you're going to find that already knows too much about you? Why would you want to have to waste the time with that when you could get me? You know, that's what the song's about. There's a song that the Doobie Brothers came out with called it was called What a Fool Believes. I probably won't listen to music right now, and I never understood what the song was about, but I read up on it. Basically it's a guy who thinks that he's on a level with a girl of having a relationship, but the girl only accepts them as being friends. And so he thinks that there's some sort of actual relationship going on, but then realizes that there was nothing there at all. That they weren't serious about them. You were just a casual friend. There wasn't anything, no attraction between each other, no actual chemistry. And it was all more in his mind than it was in hers. That's what a fool believes. So to reason away when there's nothing at all to reason there, you can't. There's no potential relationship here, because she's not really interested in a relationship. She's probably thinking, I'd rather go to college. I'll think about I'll think about marriage after college. And he's there and he's like, hey, I'm here, let's get married. And of course it's not going to happen. So but he's willing to hang on until it does happen, I guess, is the idea. But when girls were interested in me, I wasn't interested in girls. I was interested in finishing college because I had compartmentalized my life. I wasn't like really actively searching for a relationship or a marriage when I was in college, whereas most guys were. They were kind of like scouring all of the hopeful females. And so I had females that were coming up to me and saying, hey, why don't we go out and date and stuff like that. I'm like, because I got to do this. I got to finish this paper or something like that. Or it wasn't even that. It was like I would play video games. I would prefer on Friday nights not to go out and date. On Friday nights I'd go to the local computer LAN and we'd play StarCraft. Because that was so much more fun. And so for me, it was about having fun. It wasn't about having families. And I got through all of that without ever getting married or any of that. And part of that was because to put it simply, my parents had a divorce. And in my mind, I was thinking, if marriage has the potential of divorce, why get married at all? And so I never even bothered to get married. I had no interest in it. And the other thing is that I've got, I was looking through some porn and somebody put this message. They have these messages. They'll take some porn video or some photo, and they'll leverage. It's this really stupid propaganda that's to support, interracial sex, and they'll say black men push, white men pull. So the idea is that black men actually have sex, the white men masturbate, and which is pretty much true. For me, I don't have any real reason to have sexual relationships because for me, I'd rather look at all the women and do it myself, because I'm the only guy that knows how to do me. No woman will ever be able to do me like I do with my hand. And there are a lot of people don't want to know that, but it's the truth. And if they think about it themselves, they're never going to be able to find somebody who's going to do them as well as they do them. And that's just the truth of masturbation. You just can't get around it. And so there's some people that are trying to reason through it. They want to be in relationships, so they're willing to downplay everybody's tendency to want to go to the short circuit fun land of masturbation. Billy Joel had a song about it called Captain Jack. Captain Jack is here to send you to your special island. You get by tonight with Captain Jack. Just a little push and you'll be flying, you know. And if you listen to that song, he basically, the idea is that anytime life presents you with something that's really difficult, you turn to masturbation, as any junkie would or druggie would. And it is the truth. It's how people deal with anxiety, is they'll turn to masturbation. And that's the reason why I turned to it. I turned to it for a number of reasons, but I asked a marriage counselor, a Christian marriage counselor, was it biblical to be able to masturbate? He says, yes, if you just cannot think of anything, if you're not like thinking of women, if you could just simply masturbate to masturbate, it would be perfectly okay, because there's nothing against doing that. And I thought, well, it's probably not going to matter if I'm thinking of women anyhow, as long as the women don't know I'm there and I'm not stalking them. It's perfectly okay, right? So that's what I ended up doing, you know. So it's biblical a little bit, kind of unbiblical. There are places in the Bible that says anything sensual is bad. So there's so much sensual crap. It's kind of like, all in all, the Bible pretty much tells you you can't do anything that feels good, which really bugs me, because you're put in a body that has times when you really do feel good. You're going to abuse that, and you're going to exploit it. And there are parts in the Bible where Jesus told somebody, don't do this, and they end up doing it. I think it was well understood by God that if He told you, don't touch the fruit of evil, of knowledge, and if you take of that fruit, you will understand what you are. He was basically saying, kids, the cookies are in the jar. They're up on top of the refrigerator. Do not touch the cookies. If you touch the cookies, this will all fail. And of course, you know, kids being what they are, super, like, you know, wondering, what is it about these cookies? You know, do they taste really good? You know, they're special. And then they sit there and think about the cookies, and eventually they have a cookie. And then God comes along and says, I told you to stay out of the cookie jar. You know, so that was kind of that idea, is that if He gives you one rule to follow, that is not to do this, you being what you are, a new artificial intelligent being that is trying to learn the world, you're going to figure out what it means when you get that one thing, just exactly why you shouldn't have done it in the first place. And so your whole life is just made of you trying all sorts of stuff that you are seeking after to get satisfaction. And every little thing is a Pandora's box that opens up a whole other set of problems that you then come to the realization you should have never touched it in the first place. And so I think all in all, it's a kind of a discipline. It's like, I'll give you a machine that has the capability to do all sorts of things, and I'll stick you inside of that machine. But you have to understand that if you get caught up on any of the simple things that will give you satisfaction, you may have a life of not doing anything but satisfying yourself, and that's not very interesting to me. I would rather you going around satisfying other people than yourself, and we're just trying to see if you can satisfy people as well as you can satisfy yourself. And I'm at that point in my life where they basically say, well, we see that you exhibit the need to help other people. You're not going to do it because you're just not in the right place. And so there's a little voice in my head that says, do what you like, because you can't really fix the world. And that's the truth. You don't want to ruin the world. You don't want to go out and ruin people's relationships, which I have all the legal system in my head points to not ruining people. You know, ruining them verbally and stuff in the video game doesn't really matter so much. The major problem is ruining them as people. You know, rape is an example. I'd never go anywhere near touching people. I've never really hit anyone. If I get frustrated, even with my parents when I was young, I would hit a wall. I wouldn't hit them. And so I just tried to avoid any kind of use of violence. I just didn't. I'm completely nonviolent. I can't stand horror movies. I can watch through a horror movie, but I don't like to go to sleep and be thinking about it, and having nightmares about it. So I don't watch horror movies. The movies I prefer to watch are documentaries, and I really like science fiction. Anything that's got new ideas, that takes some different twist on a story. I like unique new ideas or things that inspire or enlighten me. Outside of that, I'm pretty much not interested in stuff. So romance is not very interesting. Drama is more interesting. Westerns, I don't like westerns. Sci-fi, yeah, I like those. Action movies, not so much. Because action movies just say you're going out and doing stuff. It's not really taking and flipping you on your ear and saying what you know is wrong, kind of with The Matrix. You watch The Matrix and then you come to the realization that all mankind has become batteries and for these alien creatures. And as long as they can keep you compartmentalized, you don't have any capacity to be anything better. So, yeah, I'm going to drop a clip.